Hail, bird of prey. 5. Hail, Karuga.
Kapla!
Kapla.
I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Kiroga. That's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to tip your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
If you come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. If you're here to make war, we surrender.
Both good. The important thing is I'm meeting new people.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework factory. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. And that means you're going to make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before or since. Tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Bird o' Prey 5 channel. Hail Karoga.
Hello world, it's Bird o' Prey 5, Kapla, and welcome to Bed Life for Friday, April 12th, 2024, aka National Grilled Cheese Sandwich Day. National Grilled Cheese Sandwich Day is April 12th, 2024. Mama Prey would make the most delicious grilled cheese sandwiches in the world. She still does. But for whatever reason, I have not been in the mood for grilled cheese for some time now. But thinking back to the days when salt and sodium meant nothing to me, the thought of 2 or 3 slices of gooey American cheese, just perfectly balanced and tucked in between 2 slices of white bread, Wonder white bread, and fried in buttery deliciousness in a frying pan. That was some good stuff. And of course, if it was me cooking it and I didn't have time to deal with oil and butter or fucking whatever black magic was needed to use the stove, because that was beyond my pay grade at the time. If it was just me, I would just make my quote unquote grilled cheese inside the toaster oven. I would just put the cheese on the bread, put the bread and the cheese in the toaster oven and hit toast. And whatever came out of that, that was Bird O' Prey 5's homemade grilled cheese. And for many a years, that was fine. It worked. It worked out well. It wasn't until after I got sick and I couldn't make my food myself anymore. And Mama Prey, I asked her for grilled cheese. She actually surprised me and made old-fashioned grilled cheese like she had not known that her adult son couldn't deal with the actually using a stove and had resigned himself to making grilled cheese through the toaster oven. And then when I tried to explain to her what I did, she was she got quite scared. How dare I put buttered bread and cheese and into the toaster. I tried to explain to her that I was pretty sure being a toaster oven, it was okay, but she was not convinced that I was using it how I was supposed to. Whatever, we made it. I made it. Seemed to work out. Anyway, it is more than just grilled cheese day, by the way. Well, we'll go through. We'll see what the other options for today are. Anyway, first today in the chat was not Ryan Johnson, who says, hello, Nkapla. Hail Karoga. Hail Karoga. And not Ryan Johnson wants a bird rant. A bird rant today. Richie Poole with 2 alpacas for being second in the chat says, yuck, I hate grilled cheese sandwiches, and instead puts in 2 crystal skulls. Richie Poole, I know you feel like you and Sissel Prey have some kind of connection over your politics, perhaps, but every time you type in something like yuck, I hate grilled cheese sandwiches, it makes me remember or feel better that for your safety, that you and Sissel Prey are not in any kind of relationship. Because if you tell Sissel Prey, yuck, I hate grilled cheese sandwiches, that would be as bad as telling her that you preferred Pepsi over Coca-Cola or something like that. And Sissel Prey does not forgive or forget people like that. Miss Londell's Groovy Movies says, Kapla, Kapla, Mr. Londell. Captain Fandom Nerds here. Hello, Captain. Yvette, the lovely Yvette, says, good evening, Bird and everyone. Good evening, the lovely Yvette. And Jedi Bill says, Kapla, Bird. All should hail Karoga. I agree, Bill. I agree. Kapla. Jedi Bill, Mr. Lundell, Captain Fandom Nerd, along with LDG. We were all coming from the underground, just They were all back there just a few minutes ago. Admiral Teague was there earlier, but he had dropped out. Resolute Germ says hello all. Hello, Resolute. Hakeem says hey bird and all. Katha Hakeem. Mike Richards is greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Greetings, Mike Richards. And Antiderivative Jill is here. Says, hail, Karoga. Hey, Bird. Hey, Jill. I did see you were streaming earlier, but I did not get a chance to get over there today because, well, I was exhausted and I was spent most of the early afternoon napping. Darren's Hot Topics, Daniel's Hot Topic. Typo of the mouth. Daniel's Hot Topics says, hello, bird. Hope you are well. All hail, Karoga. Thank you, Daniel. I hope you are well. Words and Pictures has got blah bird. Good to hear you. Good to be here. Glad you are here. Words and Pictures. Glad you are here. So this morning, I like around, I don't know, 7 a.m. I wasn't quite awake, but I wasn't ready to go back to sleep. I clicked on a random stream. I didn't have my glasses on, so I couldn't see the date. It was a Doomcock members stream. So I clicked on it, figuring that it was a members stream that I must have recently missed. But then I was listening, and within a minute or two of Doomcock starting to read the chat, he's like, oh, a $5 super chat from Berto Prey 5. And for the life of me, I couldn't remember what it was because I did not remember super chatting Doomcock on a member stream, at least certainly not that he had read it first. I mean, usually Doomcock, there's so many super chats built up in the queue that it's an hour, sometimes more, before he comes up with your own super chat. But if this was a members only stream, I was trying to think. I just don't remember being on a member stream with him anytime before, but I was like, okay, whatever. And I asked a very funny question, and I thought, oh, wow, I was in rare form. But then when I woke up, I put my glasses on, and I was still listening. It turns out that this stream was actually from two plus years ago, over 2 years ago. And I was like, oh, that's why I don't remember. I don't remember asking this question because it was over 2 years ago when I did. And the point was that just as I realized the age of the stream, Doomcock said, and our next super chat is from our friend Cardinal Sin. And Cardinal Sin had requested or wondered, would Doomcock be able to stream with him over the weekend? And Doomcock said, no, not this weekend, because unfortunately, like all his weekends, he is so tired and so busy, and between Friday Night Frolics and at the time the Inquisition was on Sunday, he didn't have time on the weekend, but he assured Cardinal Sin someday they'd get a chance to stream together. And I don't know. I don't think they ever did. If they did, I wasn't there for it. It was just a very sad remembrance. I wasn't expecting for any of this to come across. I felt terrible, because I was like, oh, when I heard, oh, this is an old stream, I saw this was an old stream, it didn't even occur to me that Cardinal Sin would have been sending messages, and the way Doomcock was reading them, just kind of, you got that feeling like, anyway, I think people understand if they're going to understand, and if you don't, you don't. Pop Culture Curator, hey Pop, good to see you, Pop. Says hello guys, Pop. LDG says, hey everyone, sorry I'm late, busy day. Giving a chance to changing the world has been trying today, but we are getting there. And Editor Jill says, they did awesome. I assume that means Doomcock and Gil had a chance to stream together. After all, Cardinal Sin had a chance to stream together. After all, that is so good to hear. Yes, because I was afraid those were just words you would say, and very few people would have truly followed up on them. I am so happy they did. Cody Guy says, R.I.P. OJ. Daniel says hello to Pop. And Jill says, Doomcock appeared on Into the Fringe. Oh, awesome. That is definitely the stream that Doomcock would want to be on, and I'm sure he wanted it too. So good, awesome. As for O.J. Simpson, yeah, we heard the news yesterday. Ronald Price says, may he rest in peace. That is pretty much my feeling as well. I do remember where I was when that verdict came in. I was in high school. It was the end of the day. I believe now in my high school, the last class ended at 2:35. 2:30 or 2:35 was the end of the day. You got to leave, I believe, at 2:35. You got to leave the building, but if I recall, we stood a little late in class just so we could all see the ending, because it was a social studies class at the end of the day. So the teacher was able to get the remember in those days there weren't televisions for each classroom. You had to put in and have a good reason to have the television for your department, ready and going. They had 10, may have had 10 classes going on at once in one department, but only one TV per department. So, yeah, we were quite lucky that our teacher at the time was like the most senior teacher in her department. So she had the TV available to her. And we were watching it for the whole hour or however long class was that day. Now, again, I went to a very unusual school, Edward R. Murrow High School. Most people would have the same class every day. You'd have math class every day at 8 a.m. or then you'd have history at 9 a.m. and you'd have whatever creative writing at 10 a.m. and algebra at 11. No. Edward R. Murrow High School, the principal, Saul Bruckner, at the time. He's unfortunately has since passed away. He was principal of that school for his entire life, pretty much his entire adult life. And he was into some weird things. And one of the things was that the day the classes were every day of the week was a different was a different schedule. Instead of periods, instead of first period, second period, we had bands. A band, B band, C band. So each class was A band through J band. For reasons unknown, there was no I band. We just skipped. We just skipped from H to J. I assumed there was no I, so it never got confused with 1. But there was never any official answer as to why there was no I band. But then it's like, well, okay, well then fine, you have A band, B band. Why not just call them first, second? Well, because they never were in the same order. And for that matter, they weren't always the same length. like on Monday, the day would begin with A band, and A band would be an hour long. Then on Tuesday, A band would be 45 minutes long. Then on Wednesday, the day would begin with B band, and B band would be an hour long. And then Thursday, we'd be back to A band, and it was back to 45 minutes. And then Friday, A band was back to an hour. And then B band would be like an hour, then 45, then an hour, and then not at all, and then back on Friday. And so throughout the week, your class would only meet 4 days a week out of 5. Unless, like, honestly, it's like FISBIN. Basically, it's FISBIN. There was one band that I believe met every day, but only for 35 minutes a day instead of going back and forth between 45 and an hour. It was ridiculous. Plus, some people, you got your free band, which was, if you didn't have a class, then you could do your own independent study, whether it was in the library or most people just hung out in the hallway. We also had an outdoor area that you weren't supposed to leave. You weren't supposed to leave the grounds of the school, but there was an outdoor area with a fence that was never quite locked. And, the security used to look the other way if you would go out to school that way. But if you tried to come back in, you had to come back in that way too, because then they don't want you coming through the main entrance, because then they knew you left. So that was the big deal. If you left through the courtyard, you left through the courtyard, you damn well better come back in through the courtyard. So, like I said, it was crazy. So yeah, it was the end of the day, and OJ's trial ended, and we knew we stayed a little late, if I recall, to get the news that he was in fact found not guilty, which at the time I was shocked. I'm pretty sure there was a very small group, I'd say 90% of my class was that OJ was guilty. There was only myself and 2 or 3 other students out of a class of 30 or so who believed OJ was not guilty. And so the few of us were kind of all sitting around one table while all the other students were sitting together. And like, if I recall, we were holding hands in a prayer of sorts. And all of a sudden, we heard that not guilty. And we opened our eyes, and like our mouths were open. Like I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I knew I didn't think he was guilty, but I also knew everybody in the world, even in New York, regardless of race, everybody here, quote unquote, knew he was guilty. And I didn't like the phrasing of it because, it's innocent till proven guilty, even though it seemed like New York had already proven him guilty somehow. But we heard that, and holy shit, miracles can happen. And I don't know, it was like, wow. And then I had to get home that day, and I don't remember if I was driving myself at that time, or if I was still taking the bus, but whatever it was, it worked out. And yeah, it is. It was one of those days. One of those days you don't forget where you were. Everything about it you remember, or at least a crazy amount I remember, far more than most other days. I also remember, the only other day that comes close to the day I remember was the day the Twin Towers got hit, not 9/11, the first time, the time in the 90s when they blew up they put a car bomb in the basement of the Twin Tower in an attempt to take it down, which luckily didn't do much damage, but it did kill a few people. What'd you say, Mama Frank? Yeah, garage in the basement. It was a truck. Yeah. Let's see. I remember the incident, but I don't remember where it was. You remember the incident, but not where you were. I believe we were home from school sick, because I believe I was with you when we heard about it. I remember being home from school, either at lunch or something, or I think we were just sick and on our way to the doctor. I remember being in the car with you. I believe hearing about it on the radio first. Don't remember well. I remember. Okay. Hakeem says, I mainly remember OJ from the Airplane film. Yeah, that was how I knew the guy. I was not a sports guy, so I didn't even. Only through the Airplane movies did I know who O.J. Simpson was. Daniel's Hot Topics says Paramount Pictures officially confirms Star Trek Origin movie for its upcoming film slate. Boo. Daniel, what type of origin movie? We already know. We've already done an origin. There's been multiple origin. Hell, Enterprise is an origin series. the JJ films, they're their own origin. They're their own origin from the very first movie, the origin. Stone Racket, Kapla Stone Racket says, Bird of Prey 5, Jill, I arrived here on the word library. Where is library? Ah, yes. Mr. Atzo, whatever. Andrew Jill says it's right over there, the Stone Racket. So that's very strange. All I see is a brick wall. Andrew Jill says, I was either in the 3rd or 4th grade during the trial, so my friends and I weren't into the trial. I was aware of it, but too busy for it. I was probably really 3rd or 4th grade. I thought I was a lot older. Yeah, but I wasn't 10 years older. I was in Murrow. So what's that? 9, 10, so 12th grade.
9th grade.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. If she was in 3rd grade, then 10 years would have been 13. I would have been out of Murrow. So it was less than 10 years. I thought I was well more than 10 years older than Jill. Jill says it was fun. Stone Racket. Scotty was a gentleman at a Tank Girl panel of all panels. Stone Racket says, color me shocked. Scotty was a gentleman. Mike Richards says, thanks, anti-derivative Jill. I was 38. Sigh. Oh, Mike Richards. Anti-derivative Jill was in 3rd grade. And Mike Richards was 38. Hakeem says, I was in elementary school when the verdict was being announced, and I still remember some teachers cheering and others were upset. It had divided so many people.
The verdict was declared 1995.
Okay, so then that would have been before I was driving. So I must have been waiting, and I would have caught the bus home. Stone Racket says Mike Richards, he was 36. Daniel says, yeah, but I wanted to see a Star Trek 4 with Chris Pine. God bless, Stone Racket. Mike Richards says, do these children get on your nerves too? Mom O'Fray was 43 when the OJ trial. Andrew Jill says he was on a Tuesday too. You were there. Stone Racket. Daniel says today is National Grilled Cheese Sandwich Day. I got to get me a grilled cheese sandwich now. It is indeed, Daniel. In fact, it's quite a few days today. We'll go over them shortly. In fact, we might as well just Might as well just go to them now. Stone Riders says Mike Richards. Yeah, I sure wish these kids would turn that music down and also get off my lawn. Absolutely. Goddamn kids today. Mike Richards says to Stone Racket, I'm hip. Are you hip or you need a new hip? Which one is it? I'm kidding. I hope you are hip. Okay. Let's bring up today, April 12th. It is indeed National Grilled Cheese Sandwich Day. National Grilled Cheese Sandwich Day on April 12th celebrated the incredible combination of crispy bread and melty cheese. It is also a day of silence. A day of silence. And we get a rainbow flag. So like what's the deal with this? Created in 1996. The OJ days. And taking place on April 12th of this year. Day of Silence is a campaign that seeks to shed light on what many LGBTQ youth experience daily. Initially intended to focus on this problem within the school system, it has since expanded into workplaces, university campuses, and sporting events. Yearly, millions participate by staying silent for the duration of their day, representing the silencing of LGBTQ students. This is wonderful. I hope everybody who has a bone to pick about the LGBTQ representation participates in today's Day of Silence by not saying anything. They will say more than they've ever had. When is the Day of Silence? Day of Silence 2024 takes place on April 12th. Millions are expected to participate in the planned silence across universities, workplaces, and sporting events. I don't think anyone has remained silent today at a single university, workplace, or sporting event. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Show me video. Show me video of anyone being silent at an event for 5 minutes. Show me proof. I don't think there's any. History of the Day of Silence. Day of Silence was created by a University of Virginia student named Maria Pulzetti. And you know what? I already know that's bullshit. No fucking way. No fucking way Maria Pulzetti kept her mouth shut for 24 hours. She felt that LGBTQ youth were consistently silenced and ignored by parents and administrators, and that their concerns and complaints were falling on deaf ears. So inspired by this, Maria created Day of Silence as a one-time event held during the university's LGBTQ Pride Week. So the 1 week out of the year for LGBTQ Pride, she decided to make 1 day of it completely silent. She believed the day would promote awareness among those who might not have been tuned into these issues by surrounding them with a silence they couldn't help but notice. How do you think the rest of the world wouldn't be able to help but notice if even somehow you managed to get 100% of the LGBTQ audience to keep their mouths shut for 1 single day? For 1 day, do you think that the other 99% of the population would notice? Because I have to be honest with you, the answer is probably no. And if we did notice, we would be like, anybody else notice today was a good day? In 1997, 1 year after the day's creation, it went national with over 100 institutions participating. Bullshit. In 2000, GLSEN, one of the largest LGBTQ education networks in the country, adopted the Day of Silence as one of their official projects. Today, students at all levels participate in the day. Many participants choose to wear tape over their mouths or X's on their hands to further call attention to the movement. Oh, being silent isn't silent enough. So you have to wear tape over your mouth or X's on your hands. At the end of the day, the silence is typically broken. No, if you're, the whole day is silence day. You don't get to break the silence till the next day with a rally or speaking event, allowing all participants to end their vow together. Did they take the vow of silence for a day or not? Because now you're saying you're silent for what? Half a day? Hardly, you don't get a whole day. If you're not going to be silent for 24 hours, you don't get to call your day Silence Day. Although some school districts oppose the day, considering it disruptive, most support it, actively encouraging participation in the school's LGBTQ Alliance clubs. Where's the numbers? Oh yeah, everybody supports it. You're going to shut up for an hour, for a day? Yep. Everybody, you have our full support. There are over 10,000 institutions registered as participants in the Day of Silence. All 50 states are represented in this number, as well as a number of other countries, including Singapore and New Zealand. The Day of Silence continues to grow, as has more and more people become aware of the issues facing LGBT youth. You can participate in this year's Day of Silence by registering at the GLSEN website. Come on, Kissing Dax. Come on, kiss. Yes! All right! Yes! Oh, right. John Araki, I know you didn't put it in this time. I took a chance. I spun the dice, and I reran your last 99-cent Super Poop Super Chat sticker from 4 days ago. And yes, kissing Dax as our way of celebrating the day of silence. Mike Richards is G, thanks. No, I don't need a new hip yet. Hakeem says rainbows aren't silent. Cody guys says play it loud. Hakeem says, well, they did say expected, but I call BS on millions will follow. LDG says, why can't I say hell? And he says, oh, wow, I can. I just could not say it in my previous chat attempt. And he says, burn in hell. Well, maybe because you said burn in hell. That's a really shitty thing to say. Stone Racket is quite angry. 47 Yorktown says, hello, young sir. Hello, 47. Mike Richards, so New Yorkers don't believe in silence. Ronald Ray says, nope, not at all. And Mike Richards says, so, oh yeah, I just read that. Bird spun the dice. Is that what I said? I spun the dice. I think I did say that. Yeah, I guess I should have. What is that? You roll the dice. You spin the wheel or roll it. That's right. Okay, yeah. Why would I say I spun the dice? I don't know. Oh well. Stone Racket says, I declare today to be Hug a Kitty Cat Day. Oh wait, for me that's every single day. Well, if you've got a cat, that would make sense. Besides the Day of Silence and National Grilled Cheese Sandwich Day, it's also Big Wind Day. Get blown away with some of the interesting facts about Big Wind Day. It's Cosmonautics Day. The cosmonaut and the national hero made history for humankind. Celebrate Cosmonautics Day with us. Today is the day the first human went into space. Now, not the first orbit, the first time they made it to space. And it was a Russian. It was a cosmonaut, not an American. This was back when the Russians were beating us in the space program. Yuri. It's also at the end, we'll see that Yuri has his own day. It's the same day. Mamo Prey knew the name. It's Deer Day. DEAR period, D period, E period, A period, R period day. Get ready to drop everything and celebrate one of the most educational celebrations of the year. I have not heard of deer. What is it? Deer Day, also known as Drop Everything and Read Day, is an annual celebration that takes place on April 12th. As the name suggests, its holiday is intended for everyone to dedicate a significant period during the day to reading. Oh, dedicate. Everyone to dedicate a significant period during the day to reading. The date is in reference to the birthday of one of the most renowned American authors, Beverly Cleary. Beverly Cleary, she was the first to create the concept of deer. This celebration is still observed in the U.S. to this day and is the favorite of many school students. I highly doubt. I highly doubt it's the favorite of many school students. Sounds like it's some type of fake thing made up by librarians. Okay, it's Deckfest Day. Deckfest Day. It appears to be a day where you eat breakfast at your desk. Celebrating Deckfest Day can be fun and delicious too. Let us show you how. Deckfest Day, just out of curiosity. Having breakfast at your desk is a habit to be celebrated, according to Deckfest Day, celebrated on April 12th of every year. Whether it's a sandwich or a breakfast smoothie or cereal, the first meal of the day becomes your body's very first source of nourishment. After waking up, no plain old coffee doesn't count. And the age of the modern worker eating at your desk is becoming common sight in offices around the world. Deckfest Day, which you didn't realize it yet, is a combination of desk and breakfast. If you didn't realize it yet, is the perfect event to celebrate this modern trend. If it's a trend, then it needs no celebration. I mean, everybody's doing it all the time. It's Halifax Day. Join us as we observe the embracing of American independence this Halifax Day. Hamster Day. Hamsters are one of the most popular pets in the United States. International Day for Human Spaceflight. International Day for Human Spaceflight celebrates humankind's special relationship with space. International Day. Oh my God. This is a Turtistani holiday. International Day for Street Children. International Day for Street Children gives a voice to the voiceless street children around Turtistan. Why did I click? I clicked on the children and opened up National Laundry Day. International Day for Street Children. There we go. The world observes the International Day for Street Children on April 12th every year. This day was started to provide a voice for children who live on the street. This was so that their rights cannot be ignored. This day provides opportunities for human rights organizations to spread awareness about the plight of street children throughout the world. With the concentrated efforts of governments, human rights bodies, and individuals, street children can be rehabilitated, made to work the minds, and put into loving homes or minds, along with finding safe homes, minds. The aim is also to educate them, give them medical facilities, and teach them skills for a better livelihood. Yes, teach them how to become miners. Mining miners of Quiroga. The history of International Day for Street Children. In 1989, the United Nations held a convention on the rights of the child. According to what was discussed at the convention, rights of all children in the world should have included a right to a stable, loving, and nurturing environment, health care and nutrition, clean water and electric power, equal opportunities to live in dignity and freedom. Oh, that should have been included. The rights of all children in the world should have included. Well, children living on the street do not have these rights. Organizations such as Consortium for Street Children are trying to enact 4 steps to equality to alleviate the dangers that street children find themselves in. These steps include making a commitment to equality, protecting every child, providing access to services, and creating new solutions. According to recent statistics, up to 150 million children around the world live on the street. That is plenty of children for Quirogan mines. But the tricky part is getting them all together. International Day of Pink. Wear pink to support the campaign to stay in solidarity. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wear pink to support campaign and stand in solidarity with the 2S LGBTQIA plus community. International Day of Pink. It was created as a campaign to end bullying against the 2S LGBTQIA plus community. Okay, this is going to require some explanation. by continuing the fight for equality, diversity, and acceptance. The day aims to make the world more inclusive and diverse. On this day, people around the globe are encouraged to wear pink, stand up against bullying, and in solidarity with the 2SL LGBTQIA+ community. The community believes that wearing pink on International Day of Pink represents acceptance, courage, diversity, equality, and inclusivity. Well, what about for those people who are colorblind? What about those people who are colorblind? They're not being inclusive. These are racist haters. They hate the colorblind. You sons of bitches. You should have done polka dots. Even the colorblind can see a polka dot. They just hate you. They hate you. That's what it is. They hate. Okay. What does stand for? What does TLS? Yeah. TIA stand. 2SL LGBTQIA+ is an acronym for Two Spirit. Two Spirit. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer and or questioning, intersex, asexual, and the plus reflects countless affirmative ways in which people choose to self-identify. Shouldn't Two Spirit be at the end? It's always been LGBT. It's been LG, LGB, LGT, LGTB, LGBTQ, and LGBTQI, and LGBTQIA, and the plus. So I feel like it should be LGBTQIA plus 2S. Why does 2S get the front? Is there an order of operations? Is there some sort of order of operations when it comes to gender? The 2S. And what is the meaning of Two Spirit? Traditionally, Native American Two Spirit people were male, female, and sometimes intersex individuals who combined activities of both men and women with traits unique to their status as a Two Spirit people. In most tribes, they were considered neither men nor women. They occupied a distant alternative gender status. Of course they did. National Dolores Day, National Fast and Prayer Day. Take full advantage of the day to fast, pray, and humbly ask God for protection. National 12 Eyes Day, or National 412s Day. 412s. See some, not 12. We can't fit it in that much. Ideas to celebrate 12. National Gavin Day. National Licorice Day. Black licorice is a common ingredient in food items, and it's healthy too. Disgusting. National Mac Day, the person, not McDonald's. National Maya Day. National Only Child Day. Hey, only children or those with only kids, here are some hassle-free ways to celebrate. Teak Awareness Day. Teak is one of the best timbers known to man and has an ever-rising demand. I'll be honest, I've never heard of teak. Some type of tree. Yeah, teak wood. Mamopre has. Walk on your wild side day. Bring out your inner wild child on Walk on Your Wild Side Day. Wear a Star Day. Today we get to share our grief and cherish the time we spend with loved ones. And finally, it's Yuri's night. Get ready to learn more about Yuri Gagarin, the first man to explore space, the final frontier. Captain's log, my name is Yuri Gagarin. It appears that Ensign Chekhov was correct. Russians did indeed start the space race. The first human in space is Yuri Gagarin, and the Guardian of Forever has replaced him with me in its infinite wisdom. I will be landing shortly, where I then must fulfill the duty of Yuri. I am told my government will have rounded up several dozen ladies for me to choose from to take on various ports of call to celebrate this tremendous occasion. First up, Paris, then London, Madrid, Luxembourg, Quiroga, and some other minor outlying countries like the United States, Kurdistan, and Japan. Mr. Lundell's Groovy Movies says Big Win Day, how we dishonor Democrat politicians. Stone Racket says Bird Prey 5. Beverly clearly wrote out one of my favorite books from childhood, The Mouse and the Motorcycle. Hakeem says, unfortunately, street children turn into street walkers when they get older. Carlo Albanese says, Hail Caroga. Hail Caroga. Mike Richards says, Carogan, miners tried to unionize once. Yeah, they tried. Those little buggers. Hakeem says now they're adding number. Now they're adding numbers. Taking all the colors and letters aren't enough for them. Stone Racket says, I identify as an orange tabby cat. Cody Guy appears to also identify as an orange cat. Miss Lundell's Groovy Movies says 2S LGBT QIA sounds like a bunch of horse hockey to me. Indeed. Stone Racket is praying. Mike Richards says, I would like to see horses playing ice hockey. Stone Racket says to Mike Richards, my two cats play chess. My cats started playing chess after they both touched my 2001 A Space Odyssey monolith action figure. 0 points. 0 points of articulation. Mike Richards says to Stone Racket, cats rile, dogs drool. Cats rule, dogs drool. Well, I mean, dogs do drool. That's not fake. Not fake at all. Okay. So Yuri's Night. Yeah, those are the days, man. We went from it was 1904 that the Wright brothers first flew at their flight in North Carolina. Then 10 years later, 10, 12, 15 years later, we're fighting a world war with guns in the sky. Another 20 years after that, we're fighting another world war with far bigger planes, with far bigger guns and missiles, and bombs and rockets. Another decade, we're still fighting wars, now with jet engines and rocket-powered missiles. Another couple decades after that, we're going to the fucking moon. one more decade, we're on the moon, and we've got planes that are traveling around the Earth far faster than the speed of light, not light, of sound, and we have rockets that were taking us to the moon and back. And Malfoy says, but we still have street children. Indeed. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Okay. Let's go to Dear Bob. We have these Dear Bops to move to the archive. Okay. Stone Rapids is to Mike Richards. Dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria. Miss Lindell says, didn't know we went to the effing moon. I know we landed on the regular moon. Dear Bob, why did the sun go to school during the eclipse? Because it wanted to get brighter, but ended up mooned instead. I get it, but I get it, but I don't. Dear Bob, I have a friend that is making extra money by being an escort. For all accounts, it's legal prostitution. There's a site, much like your Snuggle Bunny site, that you can sign up as a sugar baby or money man or woman. The problem is, it's causing my friend stress. She doesn't have to whoopee with all these Johns, but a lot of them she does. It feels like she is going over the edge. So do I tell her my distaste about her job and that I don't want to discuss her problems like I'm her therapist? I miss how we were and would talk for hours about anything, but now it's just about her Johns. I also don't want her to think I like her. She belongs to the streets now, and I am way out of her league. I thought this was going to turn into that you've been paying for her to come, but she's not leaving. You should tell her that if you want to continue hearing her problems, then she's going to have to pay you like a therapist. She's clearly making enough money, so you need to get your slice of the pie. Dear Bob, what's your favorite bagel? Good question. You know, if sodium is not a problem in everything bagel. Good old everything bagel. Actually, check that. There's different favorites. Let's put it that way. Certainly, an everything bagel is one of my favorites, but a rye bagel is also one of my favorites. But also pumpernickel bagel is one of my favorites. But also a bialy is one of my favorites. And then there's, for fancy places, there's what's that? French toast. French toast bagel could be one of my favorite too. Or honestly, a really good plain hot bagel with the butter. Oh, nothing can really pass that up. But reality is these days, a mini bagel scooped all the extra breading of it scooped out and buttered. That's what I like. As little breading as possible. Just and warm and plenty of butter. Dear Bob, afternoon delight? Question mark. Sure. Yes. If it's being it's being offered, obviously I'd have to check on everything else, but all things being equal, sure. Not opposed. Stone Racket says, I love blueberry bagels. Blueberry bagels are good too. Mike Richards' new MCU superhero, the pumpernickel bagel. Sure. Could be. Okay, guys. Well, I know it's not the longest stream, but for those who don't know or didn't see, my Star Trek Discovery Season 5, Episode 1 nitpicking review has been up since yesterday, or the day before. It was yesterday night, or the day before night. Yesterday was its first full day. It's an hour and 2 minutes and a few seconds long. Please check it out. It's the first edited video I put out in a long time. It's not, it's basically me just talking, but all the uhs and ums and awkward pauses have all been removed. So I still suggest watching it at 1.5 speed. So even though it's an hour long, you should probably be able to get through it in 45 minutes or so, maybe even 30 if you put it up to 2x, which I think you could do easily without any trouble. So please check that out when you get a chance. I'd really appreciate it. Stanley, are you planning to watch Fallout? You know, honestly, I wasn't. I've never played the game. And I don't think I have any desire to watch. But on the other hand, I've been hearing good things, so I don't know. Maybe later. LDG Free the Net says Friday night hangout in the underground tonight at https freethenet.og/underground. Mike Richards says the nitpicking review was awesome. Thank you. Stone Racket says you have a great weekend. Keep on trekking. Thank you, Stone Racket. Mike Richards says farewell from Columbus, Ohio. Take care, Mike Richards. Stanley says deserves bonus points for being the beginning of the end. Wow, never played any Fallout game. Impressive. Yeah, no, I didn't even know Fallout existed till recently, like this last year or so. I had never heard of it. Okay, guys, take care. Bird.